The man, the myth, the legend. This is the King of Stream. William Moorfield. William Moorfield.
All right. Welcome, everybody, into the show. William Moorfield here with you. And we are here live in the BGO studios. And I want to thank Bluegrass Orthopedics for all their support here on the network. And also I want to thank our title sponsor here on the network as well. That's Mingy Beef Jerky, the official game day snack of PrepSpin. I've got a whole bunch of it here, actually, here in the studio. We got Cajun, we got barbecue, sweet and hot. I got some mild up here, and I think behind me I got some packs as well. So we're definitely well taken care of with the Mingy Beef Jerky. But tonight's episode, normally we do a bunch of high school stuff here on the network, but I wanted to bring in one of the youngest college basketball coaches as far as in the state, perhaps one of the youngest coaches in the whole country, college basketball, and that's Mr. Austin Sparrow. And Austin, I'm going to bring you on in, man. How's everything going with you?
Everything's great over in Harrodsburg. Thank you for having us.
I'm excited for you. You're doing some outstanding things over there in Harrodsburg with CU Harrodsburg, the Pioneers, and everybody's talking about how this great program started up over there 3 years ago and how they've got this amazing coach over there. So I wanted to get into it here tonight and invite you onto the show and just talk to you a little bit. But before we do that, how's the family doing?
Mom's doing really well. All the other family is hunkered down and staying safe, healthy at home.
That's awesome. I know you and your mom are really, really close, and she used to coach her, and your dad used to coach you. Back in middle school, I believe, right?
Yeah, coached me all the way up from the first time that I touched the basketball till 8th grade.
That's amazing. You guys definitely a basketball family over there, and obviously it's paid off for you. Learning from those guys, and how has this virus impacted you and your program, Austin?
Well, just like everybody else, we're having our difficulties with the coronavirus, but it's also giving us a good time to, utilize this time to sit back and make some changes in our program, and also kind of evaluate some different things that we can improve on. As far as some things that we've had to change, a lot of our stuff has gone to virtual instead of, on-campus visits and different things like that. We've also incorporated a lot of different virtual communication with our current students as well.
Yeah, you guys using technology. Obviously, you and I are using it here tonight to communicate. And so talk to me about, recruiting somebody in these times right now. Obviously, you've got all the data and stuff on them, the kids that you like and all that good stuff. But how does one contact them in a time like this? Or can you?
Oh, well, a lot of the stuff at our level, the NCCA Division II level, we are allowed to contact the students any way, shape, or form, as long as it's following the regulations of our state and local government. And we don't have a dead period, as you could say. We're kind of like the NAI in recruiting. We can recruit year-round, which really helps us compete against other schools in the state. But some of the different things that we do for recruiting right now is I do home calls. I'll call the guys, see how they're doing. I actually called 3 of them today, just checked in with them, kind of checking in to see, making sure how they're handling everything. If they need any advice or anything like that, I really challenge the guys to, not just see me as a basketball coach, but see me as someone who was just in their position a couple of years ago. So, I definitely understand the difference, that different things that they're going through right now.
How does it feel to be 23 years old? Again, probably the youngest college basketball coach possibly in the country, but being in charge of a program, you're running your own budget over there. You're coaching these kids. You're out on the recruiting trail. You're doing all these great things. That's a lot of weight on the shoulders for a 23-year-old. But you're doing it with amazing skills over there in Harrodsburg. How do you do it all?
Well, first, like I said, I lean on my father and my mother's experience and everything that I learned with them a lot, as well as leaning on my athletic director, Dalton Christopher. He does a great job of helping, make our program a priority, making sure that, we have everything that we need to be successful, as well as our sports information director, Austin Greers. The university does a great job of, helping continue to grow our program. So a lot of the people here at CU Harrodsburg have helped me through this process. Um, I also lean on a lot of the coaches across the state. I know you had Chris Souter on, I think it was at some time last week.
Yeah.
He's a really good family friend of mine. I lean on talking with him a lot, as well as some other states, other coaches across the state like Josh Cook, Coach Josh Hamlin, who's in Mercer County, and those guys who've had a little bit more experience than me, just kind of getting their take. It could be stuff as simple as, what kind of defense do you think I should run against this team? Or, it could be all the way as complex as, do you think it's the right time for me to buy a house?
You mentioned Josh Cook. He was your high school coach, for your senior season anyway over there at Mercer County. What was it like playing underneath a guy like that done some outstanding things at the high school level?
Coach Cook is great. I think it really shows how great he is when he translated over to GRC and found just as much success as he did at Mercer County. We actively recruit a lot of his kids because we know the type of program that they come from. Playing in his system is fun. He finds a role and an identity for each one of his players, and I really appreciate that as a coach now. And as a player, I appreciate it as well. He really makes everyone feel like they have a role that, if you accomplish it to the best of your ability, you can definitely win a lot of ball games.
And then, of course, you mentioned Coach Josh Hamlin, who learned a lot of his coaching skills there from Coach Chris Souter when he was assistant coach on the girls team who won back-to-back state championships. I think Hamlin was part of one of those. But Hamlin certainly has had a great Mercer County Titans team over the years. And that's a school that you're alumni from as well, right?
Yes, I am a Titan alumni. My 4 years at Mercer County were, awesome 4 years, just as much as, my college, Lindsey Wilson College, I graduated from, supported me. Mercer County supported me throughout high school when my father was diagnosed with cancer originally, and, just taking those steps to make sure that our family had everything that we needed. And, Harrodsburg and Mercer County continue to take care of me and my family to this day. And, that's one of the reasons why when I graduated from college, I decided to come back to Harrodsburg. It's just to give back to the community that has given me so much.
You graduated from Mercer County in 2015. Again, you played under Coach Josh Cook over there, who's now at GRC, as we mentioned. But you also ran track. You're a dual sport athlete. I heard you were pretty good at track. Of course, you were a heck of a defender playing basketball from what we remember, too.
Yeah, that was my main role as a basketball player. I had the task of locking people down, like Ronnie Carson. I think a couple other players, Jacob Conway, Timmy Taylor at Lincoln County, Hagan, Tyler at Boyle County. I mean, that was pretty much my identity. Using that quickness from track and field to kind of stay with those guys. A lot of people don't know I was not recruited originally at Lindsey Wilson College to play basketball. I was recruited for track and field for all 4 years. I got on campus. A funny story, Coach Peck and Coach Starks saw me shooting in the student center and kind of walked up and approached me and asked me if I wanted to join the basketball team, and then it was history from there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And, with your basketball background, being from a basketball family, your mom's had success coaching. Your dad certainly has had success coaching. Your dad, as a matter of fact, I believe over at Western Hills, doesn't he have like his name retired over there, his jersey retired or something? Is it at Western Hills?
It's at Franklin County High School. He graduated from Franklin County High School, but he had a lot of deep roots in the entire city of Frankfort. He was when he passed, he was the principal of Bondurant Middle School. And previously, before that, he was at Western Hills High School.
Okay.
As the assistant principal. And before that, we were at Scott County and in Covington Holmes. So he's had a lot of different impacts across the state.
Yeah, touched a lot of lives with great life lessons from what I've gathered from other people that's talked about your father. Just amazing career that he had.
Hmm. A lot of people don't know this as well. He got looked at by multiple NFL teams. He went to Taylor University and played football for 4 years. Had a bunch of records up there that I think that were recently broken by a kid who's playing in the NFL now. But he played receiver up there and had a couple of tryouts with the Dolphins and the Steelers. So a lot of people don't know that he coached basketball, but his first love was definitely football.
Everybody knows that now, man. That's awesome. I certainly didn't know that. But you're doing some great things over there where you're at now with CU Harrodsburg. It stands for Campbellsville University Harrodsburg, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and the Pioneers is the mascot name over there. But you're doing some good things. You're doing the Coaches versus Cancer game. I think that's going to be in honor of your father.
Yeah, this year we're planning a Coaches versus Cancer game. We're also trying to put together a high school prep classic in honor of my father, getting a couple of prep teams and Christian academies to come up here and play against each other at our gymnasium. It's going to be a great time. We're also going to donate to the American Cancer Society during that time, just to use our platform to help the people that are affected by cancer.
That's a good thing, man. You got to play with Malik Dow over there and Trayvon Faulkner when you were a senior. Trayvon ended up going and being Mr. Basketball in his senior year.
Yeah, Trayvon's an extraordinary talent. He's still doing really well up at Northern Kentucky. I like to think that I contributed to that, playing defense on him every day in practice.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, you locked them down. I remember some of those battles that we broadcast a couple of your games over there. Now we didn't get over there all the time, but certainly when we did, I think we did a Lincoln County game, and I think we did the West Jessamine game that year of your senior year, and you certainly were top notch on the defense. What do you look for in a high school kid? Because I know there's a lot of high school kids out there watching here tonight, and that may be looking for that college home. What do you look for in college kids or in high school kids?
Well, first, we have a couple of things that we go by over here at Campbellsville Harrodsburg, and one of our team mottos is faith, family, education, and basketball. Those are the four pillars that we really look into. Campbellsville University Harrodsburg is a Christian institution, so faith is a big priority to us, as well as personally, faith is a very big priority to me. And then our family, we consider our basketball team a big family. We consider our athletics team as well, all the students here that are involved as a big family of Campbellsville Harrodsburg. So we look for people that have great, faith. We look for people that, or I guess you could say, student athletes that, want to be a part of our family. And then, excellent academically. I think that every athlete, no matter how much is on their hands, they should strive for a 4.0 and, really maintaining the best academic success that they can. And the last pillar is basketball. We don't like to think of it as the last pillar, but it's the solid foundation that if you don't have those other things, you don't really get to have basketball.
Yeah, you mentioned that when we were talking about Coach Cook earlier. You mentioned that the way he coaches his program, that's the kind of kids that you really go after. Is there any other coaches in the state that you really feel that way about, like maybe a Coach Kelly at West, or a Coach Salzman, for example, at Lexington Catholic, or Coach Hall at LCA? I'm just throwing some names out there for you.
Well, we definitely have a good connection over here with Coach Renner at Ballard.
Okay.
We have multiple Ballard athletes. As well as Coach Jones at Galilean Christian Academy. A lot of people don't know we have 3 players from the Bahamas on our roster next season from the Galilean Christian Academy. And, there's a lot of high-quality basketball across the state that's not just in the KHSA as well.
Right. Yeah, I remember the Galilean Christian Academy. They actually played for a national championship not that long ago down there. Remember I was telling you in the before we went on air, they play, and it's a secret in Kentucky too. I might be letting your secret out there, Coach, but But they played for a national championship not that long ago down in Fort Bluff, Tennessee, down at the I believe it's the NCCA, National Christian. No, that's what you're in. But
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about, the high
the
school version of what your league is.
yeah, the Galilean Christian Academy. I think they actually won the national championship this year down there in Tennessee.
Okay.
The overall MVP of the tournament in the, I guess you could say he was the overall All-American unanimous selection. Caleb Burrows, he's actually going to be coming and playing for us next year. So we're really happy with his recruitment and what he can bring to the table next year.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I saw you got a 6'7" guy from Galilean, I believe, right?
Yeah, Shadarno Clark. He's another transplant from the Bahamas. He is really one of the foundation. He's actually been here all 3 years that the program has been here. So I'm excited to kind of close his career in the next couple of years.
Yeah, when we were down there and we broadcast some of those championship games down there, it was amazing the talent that they had. And I believe you may know him now. He may still be part of the program, but I believe Quincy Burt was connected with that program, right?
Yes, he was. Yes, he does. I actually communicated with him a couple times as far as recruiting Caleb and getting Caleb and a couple other kids up here. We have a full-fledged varsity and JV team at Campbellsville, Harrodsburg, and our JV team played the Galilean Christian Academy in an exhibition this year. And Coach Quincy was one of the driving factors that helped set that up.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's amazing how it's a big world, but yet it's such a small world when you think about all the connections that you develop through basketball, and especially here in the state of Kentucky, where we are a basketball state. I mean, there's a lot of options out there.
Yeah, most definitely. The amount of connections that I've created in Kentucky, just from this 1 year of coaching, as well as coaches throughout the entire NCCAA across the country. Just being able to, I've got a couple of coaches in Michigan that I call weekly, that are in my conference, kind of considered as conference rivals. That, it's really just a big family of, how can we help each other succeed? I really love that about, being a head men's basketball coach.
I'm being told that's the NACA, by the way, down there in Fort Bluff. I wanted to make sure I get that out there right, because it's a National Association of Christian Athletes that has their own high school tournament. But yeah, it's an amazing place down there. We talked about what you look for in a high school kid, but you're, as far as when you played. Looking back on when you played, now again, you weren't a scorer. I think you averaged a couple points a game, but on the defense side, you were hectic on the competition. Is that something that you really emphasize while you're coaching now? Is the defense even more so over offense? I'm just curious.
Well, that's definitely something that we focus on at Campbellsville Harrodsburg. I think my players kind of get a little tired of the defense mottos that we have and the philosophies that we have. I take a lot of pride in coaching defense. We've had multiple practices this year where we didn't touch a basketball, just to get to the point where our guys realize you can affect the game, in multiple different areas. We one of the best accomplishments that we had this year was we defeated the number 3 team in the country, Johnson University of Tennessee. And we held them to 48 points in a college basketball game. So
Wow.
I think that speaks volumes onto what our team's able to accomplish defensively when everybody brings what they have to the table.
Who are some of the coaches that you look up to at the college level?
At Division I level, I like to consider myself a college basketball fan. I don't have a specific team that I cheer for. Growing up, I was a Kentucky Wildcats fan. While my mom was, she's a diehard U of L fan, but I like Jay Wright. I think he does a really good job at Villanova. Definitely recruiting talent and developing it, and making the most of what he's got. As well as it's hard not to be a fan of Coach K at Duke. I think his recruiting abilities and different things like that are right there with Coach Cal. I know Coach Cal is considered the master recruiter across Division I basketball. And then there's a couple other coaches that I've gotten to know personally. We played Nichols and McNeese State, which are two Division I programs out of Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
And Nichols head coach Austin Claunch. He's also one of the youngest Division I head coaches out there right now. I think he's 27. And I had a really good relationship with him when we went down there, and we've been in contact. And he's another one that I kind of look up to as far as what I want to achieve in the next couple of years.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, I mean, speaking of the next couple of years, what's your goal for this coming season, and what would you like to accomplish, in your coaching career when it's all said and done?
Well, as far as for next season, every year that we set out, to have a basketball season, I tell our guys we should expect to win every game, no matter who we're playing against. And understand that if we do what it takes, if we follow the scouting report, if we prepare in class and prepare for everything off the court, everything when it comes down to being on the court, it'll all line up. And I think that we have the ability to be one of the best teams in the NCCAA next year. We return every single player. We didn't lose any seniors this year. We were actually one of the youngest teams in the NCCAA. We ended up finishing fourth or fifth in our conference. And I think we ended up losing 10 games by less than 10 points. So we had a lot of games that were decided in the last 3 to 4 minutes of the game. And I'm going to challenge our guys to make sure that we finish next year. And hopefully, if we finish the way that we want to, we'll finish in the national championship game.
Yeah, we had talked about the virus earlier, and how that's kind of impacted things a little bit. Where we have to do video chats or telephone calls rather than in person stuff. Has it had any any impact on starting next season as far as practice goes? When do you guys usually start your first practice and all that good stuff?
Usually when the guys get here in August, we do a lot of player development as far as letting them have access to the gym for open gyms and different things like that. We usually don't start practice until September. Mm-hmm. And then once we start practice in September, we go into scrimmages in October, and then our season this year is going to begin on the day before Halloween. So we've got October 30th and 31st is our first 2 games. We have until then to try to kind of get all of our kids finished, of course, with this year, and begin scheduling classes and get everything rolling for next year.
Do you guys do like a Midnight Madness type of thing, or?
We didn't get to this year because we kind of jumped onto the scene late of things. I got hired about 2 weeks before the season began. So next year we are going to do what we're going to call Maroon Madness. It's going to be here at Campbellsville University Harrodsburg gym, and we're going to have a spotlight and definitely some crowd involving activities and different things like that to get the community involved with our team this year.
Yeah, and your facility over there is brand new as well. You were telling me that it's an amazing facility. How's it like playing on a new court?
Well, I've had multiple different experiences playing on a brand new basketball court, and I tell you, there's nothing like it. At Mercer, the gym, of course, was built in 2006, but it was only 10 years old when we got to use the facilities and stuff when I graduated. And being able to use that brand new high school gym, there's nothing like it. And then we went to Lindsey Wilson College. They actually renovated the gym my senior year, so that's another opportunity I had to work on a brand new court. And then now at Campbellsville Harrodsburg, we've got a brand new gymnasium, and it's awesome. It's an awesome feeling when everybody packs the gym for a big conference game, and you've got the lights and everything that are on bright. So.
Yeah. And I know you guys are adding more sports over there too. I think we talked. You guys are going to be adding soccer soon, and possibly baseball. Is that right?
We're going to be adding soccer and track and field this coming year, and then there's always a possibility of whatever the administration kind of throws at our academic and athletic programs. I think that the sky's the limit for CU Harrodsburg right now.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Doing big things over there, man. I'm gonna step out just for a minute. We're gonna take a commercial break, Austin. I'd still like to continue talking with you when we come back.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
All right, we'll be right back here with more Talking Sports here on PrepSpin.
This is where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be, for generations to come.
Atkinson, Sims & Kermode is a firm you already trust and is now partnered with a face you know.
Your experienced and local bankruptcy attorney, Mark Bubenzer, joins our firm to better serve our Frankfort community. We are here to help you get back to what matters most.
We are involved at every step, guiding you towards relief. Start your bankruptcy for as little as $78.
Visit our Frankfort office on St. Clair Street or go to ask-law.com to take the first step towards a new beginning.
At Atkinson, Sims & Kermode, we are here to help you get back to what matters most.
Helping you through your financial situation is our only purpose. We are involved at every step, guiding you towards relief.
A better life can't exist after bankruptcy. Start your bankruptcy for as little as $78. Call us today and take the first step towards a new beginning.
All right, we are back here live from the BGO studios. William Warfield alongside Austin Sparrow, former Mercer County Titan and now the head coach, one of the youngest coaches in the country, leading a college program over there at CU Harrodsburg, the Pioneers. And Austin, I know you wanted to talk a lot more to the high school kids that may be out there watching tonight that are looking for college home. And again, let's hit on the recruiting thing again and talk about that a little bit more in depth, if you will.
Well, as far as if you're a high school athlete out there right now and you're looking to find a home for next season, I know the class of 2020 is really going through something that we never really expected to hit, and a lot of those kids are being under recruited and underlooked. And if you feel like you're one of those kids that has the ability and you want to be a student athlete in college, I challenge you and encourage you to go to cuhpioneers.com and look at our basketball coaching staff. My email and phone number will be on there. Feel free to drop your information, highlight tapes, attributes, and different things like that, accomplishments in high school. And in our coaching staff, an athletic staff will make sure that gets to me, and then we'll evaluate and go through the evaluation steps that we go through to evaluate different things like that. I really challenge every kid that wants to play basketball. Don't allow the coronavirus to take that away from you. Use it as an opportunity to reach out even more to people through because a lot of people are spending a lot of time on their phones and computers right now. So it's a great time to do that virtual recruiting process.
Yeah, and sending a link seems to be the ideal way to do it nowadays. I know, we get requests a lot to do highlight videos. And, a lot of the parents are still educated. Most of the time, their requests are, hey, give me a DVD. But, as a college coach, you don't like a whole stack of DVDs on your desk. I mean, you probably rather just click on that link, right?
Most definitely. Most definitely would rather have that highlight tape that, high quality highlight tapes and stuff like that too. I know there's a lot of different platforms and stuff like that, and I'm sure you guys do, great work if you've had the opportunity to work on any of those highlights.
Yeah. There's a kid that plays for LCA right now you might want to check out, just throwing his name out there, but Tanner Walton, my goodness, a super sophomore. It'll be a couple years before you get to see him, but just throwing his name out there.
I definitely think there is a lot of talent in the state of Kentucky coming up, and that's something that I pride myself on is trying to get out there and recruit as many kids from the state of Kentucky, and kids that also went the JUCO route that have decided that they want to come back closer to home. We never shut our doors to those opportunities as well.
And it should be important too. You mentioned JUCO. JUCO is only a 2-year school, so you guys are a 4-year school, right?
Correct. A lot of people have the misconception that we're a community college or a junior college. We're a full-fledged 4-year university, and we have multiple different academic programs here and majors and stuff like that, and offer master's degrees, cosmetology. I think it's 70 different programs that we have access to now at Campbellsville, Harrodsburg.
Let me ask you this, because it's such a hot topic, and that's kids using social media and things that they post out there. Is that a turnoff if somebody posts something on Twitter or Facebook that you're going after a kid? You're looking at him as a basketball player, but then you see something like that on Twitter that that's the majority of folks don't approve of, that he probably shouldn't have tweeted, or she shouldn't probably tweeted.
Well, I tell you this, we actually, the first meeting that we have with all of our guys, we do an information meeting where they get all of the team rules and procedures and different things like that. And we get all of their social media handles and different things like that. And, we know when someone puts a fake one up there and everything. So we take a lot of time, and we really encourage our guys to promote the school and the university and our team in a positive manner. We always talk about you're representing 3 things. No matter if it's in person or over the phone, virtual, you're always representing, yourself. You're always representing your family, and you're always representing your team. So those are 3 different things that, recruits should definitely think about whenever they're going to post things on social media.
Yeah, it's like playing, when you're playing for a county school like you did, obviously when you were in high school, when you had Mercer County across your chest, and it's playing for your community. It's playing for your school, playing for that program, playing for the people that had a legacy there for that. It's kind of like that with college teams as well, right?
Yes, most definitely. We have a lot of kids that are here in the state of Kentucky, but, right now we have very few. We actually don't have, any kids that are from Mercer County, but I've been really impressed with, the impact that our kids have had on the community, but as well as the impact the community has had on our kids. A lot of kids come here, they see a small town, just like a lot of, towns across of Kentucky, but whenever they decide that, Harrodsburg is a school that they're really interested in, and they come here and they invest some time, it really opens up to the idea that Harrodsburg can do a lot of different things for their life.
Yeah, and I would use, honestly, I would use Lawrenceburg as an example, because, and I'm not talking about Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. I'm talking about, down in Kansas where the University of Kansas plays at, right? I mean, because you go by there, I've been on the interstate going by and been to it and all that good stuff. And, I mean, it's truly is a very, very small community there. Harrodsburg's grown like crazy over the years.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things that I noticed whenever I went to Lindsey Wilson, I spent a lot of my time, my 4 years up there at school. I didn't really come home a whole lot. And when I decided to come back this year and coach at Campbellsville Harrodsburg, I noticed the growth in the community and in Mercer County. I think it's tremendous. And, I hope that the school continues to impact the community and the community continues to impact the school.
And somebody correct me, it's Lawrence. Lawrence, Kansas.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Lawrence,
But you
Kansas.
know what I'm talking about, though. I must have Lawrenceburg on my mind here tonight. But yeah. So who are some of your biggest mentors?
I two of them that I didn't get to kind of mention. Coach Lee DeForest, who is the head coach at Florida Coastal Prep. He used to coach, I think, at West Jessamine High School.
He wrote
And
kind of like that Princeton offense, right?
yes, he actually has taught me a whole lot on the Princeton offense. I was at Lindsey Wilson College when he was there as an assistant. We went to the national tournament running his Princeton offense, and we had three really talented players at Lindsey Wilson, and it worked. It worked to a T. So that's something that I learned from him. And then Coach Starks, who's actually he's the associate head coach at Lindsey Wilson College right now. He's another major mentor that I've had throughout my career. I like to think that if he didn't give me the opportunity to join their coaching staff early as a student, then I probably wouldn't be here where I'm sitting today. So I really like to thank him for giving me that break in the coaching world and introducing me to a lot of people.
You were when you first went onto that basketball team. I think the story that I was told was that you went on as a student, basically a student intern coach, right? And then there was some injuries that happened, and then all of a sudden you find yourself into the game and playing in the tournament and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I started out as the JV player, worked my way up, and finished my junior season as a JV player and a student intern, student assistant coach. And at the end of my junior year, we made it to the national tournament. We won the Mid-South Conference. We had 2 or 3 injuries in the Mid-South Conference, and for the national tournament, I knew all the plays. I'd helped with the entire offense, putting it together. I've always helped with the scouting reports and stuff like that, so it made sense to put me in a uniform. And they knew kind of my background is, being a kid that's going to make sure that the guys that, are probably going to get majority of the playing time are going to be ready. They trusted me with that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You never know when you're going to get an opportunity, and you certainly got the opportunity there.
Most definitely.
How have you used some of that, from your former coaches? How have you used some of that, and applied it to how you coach today?
Well, I will say this: a lot of people that come and watch the games and remember my father, they remember he used to stomp his feet pretty loud on the sideline. It might be an official that provokes that, or it might be the offense running incorrectly. But I've caught myself a couple of times doing that old classic foot stomp. It might not be as loud and impactful as his yet, but I like to think that I model my coaching career after my father a lot. I run a lot of his different offenses. A lot of people don't know this, but we run a lot of the same sets that we used to run in middle school. And those sets still work today in a college basketball game. It's crazy.
I'm going to show a couple pictures here your mom sent over to me. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So this is you. You were kind of born into basketball, and mom sent me over this one. Then here you are. Let's see here. Here you are. Is that middle school?
Yeah, that's middle school, and both of them were coaching me.
Okay, and then here's another one when you were younger too, and I kind of threw them out of order. I probably should have started with the baby picture than this one, but yeah, there's you and your dad and mom again, and just amazing basketball family you come from.
Yeah, I think my mom was actually 3 or 4 months pregnant with me whenever she was coaching a high school game. Either at I think it was at Anderson County.
Okay.
So she didn't stop coaching all the way up until right before I was born.
So your mom, she was over at Anderson County, and then she was up at Holmes too, right?
Yes, she was they both were at Covington Holmes. They coached a former Miss Basketball player, Erica Hallman, at Covington Holmes. I still have a lot of connection with people up at Covington Holmes and in the Independence area of Kentucky. So I like to think that that's really where I got my passion and love for basketball.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. You've got a great story. I'm sure someday that somebody's going to do a documentary on Austin Sparrow. I can see it coming.
Well, it'll definitely be full of different places and a lot of basketball.
Yeah. So what's your ultimate goal? I know we talked about what your goal is there at CU Harrodsburg, but where would you like to be career wise one day? Do you have aspirations to coach Division I?
Yes, but I will say this, the community of Harrodsburg, like I said earlier, has given me so much. I really want to and have set out to have a personal mission of creating a program that is extremely successful here that can represent the community in a very positive way. And opportunities, if they knock, and it'll be something that I'll have to definitely think about. But Harrodsburg has been my home for the past 12 years of my life, and I most definitely am comfortable with staying here.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. Me and my family have actually been looking for some houses over there as well. So we've always thought Harrodsburg was a great place to live. Great school, obviously the.
Let me know if you find one of those houses available.
Say what now?
I said, let me know if you find one of those houses available.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's kind of like moving over in the, if you're looking over in Danville and looking in the Boyle district over there. It's like a needle in a haystack, right?
It definitely is right now.
Yeah, Harrodsburg, man. It's like I said, it's a great place over there, and I think the school system and what you guys are doing over there with CU Harrodsburg and just the whole community over there is great. You got great basketball players that come through there. Sagan Robbins, I should probably mention her because I never give her any love on here, but she's playing for the University of Louisville. She's a Miss Basketball. Won it the same year that Traylon did. So
yeah, I'm actually really good friends with Sagan. Been kind of keeping up with her at Louisville, and she comes over sometimes during the summer when she gets a break from Coach Walls, and we definitely hang out at the pool, talk basketball, and really enjoy, hopefully this next season getting to go and watching her play at Louisville.
Yeah, I think she'll get some more playing time this year because Asia Durr, is that how you say her name? I believe she's already going into the WNBA, and so yep. Sagan should be getting her opportunity over there.
I think she's definitely primed for a big season.
Man, I tell you what, this has been a great talk here tonight. I wish we could talk a little bit more. Let me ask you this. Is there anything that we haven't touched on that maybe you want to talk about?
No, I think we've got everything. Like I said earlier in the show, if there's any high school coaches or players out there that really want to play at the collegiate level, feel free to reach out to our program. And we have a lot of great resources and different things, even through this difficult time. We've got virtual tours that we're allowed to offer for athletes that are looking to tour the facilities. We've got multiple different pamphlets that we can send over, and we definitely have an admissions team that is willing to work with any type of student, even if you're not an athlete and you're still looking for college experience in Harrodsburg or in the state of Kentucky. Feel free to put Campbellsville University Harrodsburg on your map.
Absolutely. It's a great thing you guys are doing over there, and it's only the beginning. It's going to keep getting better and better, and especially with you there as the head coach, Austin. You got a bright future ahead of you, man.
I appreciate you, William. Thank you for having me tonight.
All right, Austin Sparrow. You heard him here on Talking Sports, here live on PrepSpin. And by the way, I hope to get over there to do a couple of his games maybe this coming season. That'd be awesome to broadcast a couple of those and give them an opportunity to showcase the brand new arena that they've got over there, brand new gym. And Austin Sparrow, man, he's gonna be a bright one. Bright future ahead for him. So that's going to do it for us here tonight. We'll see you guys again tomorrow night. We got Cam Deckett on from Bluegrass Orthopedics, the athletic trainer over there at Lexington Christian Academy, be joining us tomorrow. And we'll talk about some of the things that he does over there at LCA. But again, Austin Sparrow here tonight. I want to thank Austin for his time, and also CU Harrodsburg for allowing him to come on the show and talk a little bit of recruiting and about the program What a great program they got going on over there. All right. We'll see you guys again tomorrow night. So long, everybody.